Are you looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football and basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select two or more players, pick more or less on their projections for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the PrizePicks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/bluewire and use code BLUEWIRE. That's code BLUEWIRE at prizepicks.com/bluewire for a first deposit match of up to $100. PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Today's episode is brought to you by Cars.com. With over 2 million vehicles and 50,000 more added every day, Cars.com will match you with the perfect car for you, your budget, your life, your style. And if you're ready to say goodbye to your current car, Cars.com will get you an instant offer to cash it in. Just start by entering your license plate and get matched with a local dealer who will write you the check. So whether you're looking to buy or sell, just go to Cars.com. It's magical.
Good morning, Mavs fans. Joined by Kirk Henderson and Josh Bowe for this episode of Mavs Moneyball After Dark. Josh, how are you?
I'm okay. I took Dayquil before this game started. Dayquil, not NyQuil. I took Dayquil at like 8:30 at night because I knew I had to prepare. I knew it was going to be a long night. Did not think it was going to be this long of a night. And I will admit that when double overtime started, I wanted to die a little inside. But I'm just glad this is the game where I'm just like, I'm glad they won, man. Like it was ugly, it was awful, but if they lost, like I don't think I'd be on. Like I would just turn off my computer. I'd put my phone in another room. Like I wouldn't even want to look at what people would be saying because I think everything would burn down. Well, would have lost this game.
Josh mentioned it because I didn't lead with that. The Dallas Mavericks just won a double overtime thriller, and I'm going to put this game in quotations because thriller is not an accurate descriptor. 119 to 115. To give you a brief summary of the game, the Dallas Mavericks blew the Lakers out early and then proceeded to lose every stinking quarter again. They lost the second quarter. They lost the third quarter. They lost the fourth quarter. But the game went into overtime because Luka Doncic is preposterous, hitting another step-back jumper, but this time from a new location on the right side of the floor to send the game into overtime at, I think it was 111. Is that right? Was it 111 all at the end of overtime? I'm going to take a look here.
Yeah,
no, 101.
He made a three to send it into overtime, and then he made a three to send it into double overtime.
I'm just this shit all runs together. Yeah. So the game at the end of overtime was tied 101 to 101. And then they played a period of overtimes. It was just, I mean, I cannot describe accurately. We would be here for 45 minutes going over all what happened in this game. The Mavericks were really awful in the fourth quarter. They scored 19 points, but realistically, they scored like 13 for most of the period. Luka Doncic didn't score for 17 game minutes. Okay, team, think about that. Luka didn't score for 17 minutes. He was dishing and diming. The Lakers were throwing doubles at him. And then just in typical Maverickian fashion, wide open guys couldn't do shit in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was infuriating if you were watching this game live because it's late. We're all tired. Then, of course, you're watching it and it feels like the Mavericks are going to lose the game. There's 11 seconds left after Westbrook puts him up with a pair of free throws. And Luka hits a step back jumper with 6 seconds left to go into overtime. Then in overtime, it's just more of the same, though Spencer Dinwiddie joined the game. Congratulations to Spencer, despite playing a ridiculous 51 minutes. Luka Doncic led all guys with 53. Spencer really didn't make his presence felt for the entire game. He had some horrendous possessions. And then in overtime had a pair of dunks, which essentially helped seal the game and took some of the scoring load off of Luka. I mean, I don't even really know how to talk about this game. There's like the numbers are riotous.
The Lakers shot 44 of 112 from the field. That's just like a weird, like you don't see that. 112 shots. The Lakers shot
And
112
put that
shots.
into context, that they had 16 more field goal attempts than the Mavericks.
Yeah, and they still had more free throws, so it's not like they could have even had more shot attempts if the refs weren't, if they weren't getting a good whistle.
Boy, howdy, did they not get a good whistle?
Yeah, no. The Lakers shot 40% from the floor and 24% from three, and they still took this game to double overtime against the Mavericks team that is better than them, and that's just like. That's crazy. I was watching this game and I was just like, every time the Lakers scored, it felt like a miracle. And if I don't want to be too hard, like I feel really bad because I have like nothing but bad things to say about this game. Like,
no, because it's like the Lakers are
bad.
Atrocious. They are atrocious. So it's like, for every nice thing I want to say, where you look at like our man Christian Wood played 47 minutes, really battled his ass off. 24 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 blocks. Also, the Mavericks gave up so many freaking paint points to people like Thomas Bryant and Wendell Gabriel and really bad basketball players. So it's like, I don't know what to, like, I don't want to bag on them because this team is not designed to play defense with who they have on the floor.
They're not designed to play defense, but I mean, Thomas Bryant, Dennis Schroeder, like these guys, like Russell Westbrook somehow scored 28 points, and like they were backing up, like they weren't giving him, they were guarding him correctly, like they were giving him like 3 feet of space,
and he was still getting there.
He was still getting to the rim.
Yeah,
like, it was bizarre. The one thing I'll say that they did okay defensively was I think they did a pretty decent job on LeBron of all people. Although I think LeBron just played a really weird, played a weird game.
I mean, his stat line is 24 points, 9 of 28 from the floor, 0 of 7 from 3. He did have 16 boards and 9 rebounds, but LeBron, like, again, this is the beneficiary. He's the beneficiary of a charming whistle.
For sure.
I'm glad that this game went the way it did, because
if they lost, it would have been crazy.
I would have hated to talk about the refs because our guy Matthew Phillips, who is a big refs guy. Sorry, Matt, it's true. Was talking about a lot of the calls, and it's just, I get it, but I honestly didn't look at the calls in the fourth quarter until that the final 2 minutes of regulation were a war crime. I mean, the last 2-minute report, if they actually release it, was so god awful. I mean, the refs were missing who was committing fouls. That's how bad it was. And it was just very frustrating to watch in that regard. And it had no flow, and it really took anybody out of the game, because in that point in the game, I was very frustrated with the Mavs role players, because if you were to go through the final 5 minutes or final 6 minutes of regulation, Luka gave everyone and their uncle a chance to hit shots. Tim Hardaway, God bless you, Timmy, hit a shot, hit a wide open shot, please. 3 of 11 tonight from the floor. 22 points and 8 boards. That's the kind of numbers where I'm bitching about a guy scoring 22 points. Like, this game does not make sense. The Mavs only shot 17 free throws. That'll tell you how bad the game was in terms of how it was called. The Mavs are one of the league leaders in free throw attempts.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the reason the Lakers were able to keep this a game was because, free throws, they had 14 offensive rebounds, and they only had 9 turnovers. The Mavericks had 16 turnovers.
Really bad ones.
Really bad. And what was bad was 4 non-Luka players had at least 2 turnovers. That's bad. Like, Luka's he will give you like a 5 to 7 turnover game, but that's because like he has to have the ball all the time, so that's fine. But when Tim Hardaway Jr., who is a spot up guy, has 2 turnovers, when Dinwiddie has 3, I mean, Powell had 2 in 18 minutes. Jaden Hardy had 2 in 6 minutes. Like,
Hardy, really weird. Hardy had some
He only played 6 minutes for a reason.
Yeah, and I feel bad
2
for the
turnovers
guy
and 3
because he had like a
fouls.
really nice attack and one that was just beautiful. And then he committed a charge that was the sort of play that you could see from the moment he dribbled from the top of the key. And it was very much a okay, big guy kind of play. And then he just was never seen from again.
Yeah, a bunch of bad plays snowballed on him right after he made that
Mhm.
and one. He had that charge, he had another turnover, had some bad fouls, and then he got his shot blocked, and was like, all right,
That was a bad, and the fact
maybe this
how
is
he got his
ridiculous.
shot blocked was the sort of shit that happened to him in the G League. Is like really ill-timed, like what are you doing type drive. So anyways,
but that's that. He played 6 minutes of double. So
right,
like,
you're looking at this box score. It looks like something out of the late 90s. Like I've not seen a box score like this in forever. It makes no sense. Like Luka could have had a 30-20-20 game if dudes just would have hit the shots he was serving for them. I mean, Reggie Bullock played 47 minutes, scored 7 points, did have 9 boards. He boarded actually really well, but some of the shots he's missing are just, it's like, I mean, I said this, I think if they can trade him, I think they have.
Yeah,
it's too long.
Too long. Yeah, we gave,
This is advertiser content brought to you by Frito-Lay.
Hello, I'm Chip Murphy, here to get you ready for the big tournament. Tonight we'll break down who will be cutting. Cut! What are you two doing?
Sorry, Chip. Prez here got his feathers ruffled when I told him Ruffles has 0 chance of winning the title.
And I was letting Dip know that she is not taking into account Ruffles' iconic ridges.
Guys, it's March. We have to start talking about the tournament.
We are. It is the 2023 Frito-Lay Snack It.
We're talking about big-time matchups between Cheetos, Smart Food, Lay's, Sun Chips, and more.
Just head to the Frito-Lay Snack Bracket and vote for your favorite chip, pretzel, or dip for a chance to win up to $1,000 or a year's worth of snacks.
This sounds great. Keep up the good work.
Just go to fritolaysnackit.sbnation.com. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends 4/3/2023. Void where prohibited. Here's worth of snacks awarded in the form of 52 coupons, each good for 1 bag of chips. See official rules at fritolaysnackit.sbnation.com.
January is usually when he turns it around, and again, his percentage has actually gotten a little bit better. Compared to
he's
what
just
he was
missing
like
wide open looks though. Whereas last year he was like a contest guy where you had to be near him, and I don't know what to do. So I just checked our Slack, and contributor David Trink just said, "I feel like we should never talk about tonight again."
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this game. I think what's really bad, like what's really dumb about this game is, you have a 19-point lead in the first quarter, and you're just they were dominating this game. And again,
it wasn't just the 3-point shooting. Like they were outplaying the Lakers in every facet of the game. They pushed, which we'd never seen or rarely see.
Yeah, and you still look at like the shooting disparity between the two teams. Like there's no reason this game, like it's not like the Lakers had a crazy night from 3 or even Westbrook's 28 points, was nice, but he was still 10 of he still had some bizarre possessions. Schroeder was awful. Like they should have run away with this game. Like the fact that they weren't able to run away with this game, and the fact that it didn't happen. If the Lakers would have had a crazy run from 3 or something like that, like I would have been like, okay, that makes sense. But like the Lakers played horribly. Like they played horribly from the start of the game to the end of the game. Just the only thing that really changed was the second half, and the Mavericks Luka's teammates just kind of crapped the bed. And it's like, that just sucks. Like this should have been a Luka 31-minute night. They win by 18 points. Like that's what this game should have been. And every single starter had to play 40 minutes. Luke had to play 53. And it's just like, they're going to play
out of the fun of the game a little bit.
Yeah. Like I'm glad they won, because if they lost, this would have been a meltdown. But now they're going to play a back-to-back in Portland. Luka's probably going to sit one of those games now that maybe he wouldn't have, if they would have just taken care of business. I don't know. But like, it just,
well, I mean,
it just
sucks.
Think
they lose one or both of these games because they're going to be so gassed.
Yeah,
and I hate that.
And they didn't need to be. Like it's just they were creaming this team.
I said this
about
I did a lot of live tweeting in this game.
You did.
I'm curbing. The crowd will enjoy this one. I'm really trying to curb my alcohol intake for like the first time since pre-pandemic.
New Year's
And so I
resolution.
need something to do with my hands. So tweeting was the thing tonight for sure.
Oh,
Like I've
no.
not live tweeted the game like this in a long time. And I said, all I hear on pods is how Luka has to get guys involved, that if they don't touch the ball, they lose connectivity to the game. Then I watch the game and I see a whole team of guys who don't want the pressure and show it over and over, only for Luka to bail them out. And that's honestly how I feel. And that includes Christian Wood. I know he had a big numbers game, but again, it's like when you're playing 47 minutes, 24 points doesn't seem outlandish if you're the second best player on the squad. I'm not trying to take away from his performance, but it's just so many guys missed open looks that Luka was serving to them against atrocious defenders. So it's like, was this fun? Big picture, yes. Did I have a great time? Absolutely, despite the headache that's growing in my head. Am I frustrated by the process and worried about what it means long term? Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing about like coming out of that Clippers loss, which was a stinky loss. I know I went to bed early, but rewatched it later. And the next day, like that loss stunk. They never really got into that game. Like they got
That's right.
pretty soundly, despite it not being like a huge blowout number. But like nothing about the way they played after the first quarter kind of soothed my concern of the way the team has looked. They lost after the Clippers game, they had lost 3 out of 4 because OKC.
Well, it just catches up with them because the solutions that are coming back don't fix many of the problems. Like, will their rotational defense be better when Josh Green and Dorian Finney-Smith come back? Yeah, but it also can't get much worse. So you're going to be going from really bad to like bad.
What I'm worried actually is they're going to be teams are doubling Luka a lot right now, and it's like they might be. This is going to sound really mean. They might be easier to double when Dorian and Josh get back.
I think that
because there's going to be more line. Like Dorian has been having a horrible shooting season, and I know Josh has been pretty decent, but who knows what he's going to look like coming back from an elbow sprain. So on his shooting arm. So like their starting lineup, Reggie excluded is if he would actually make shots, like it's actually kind of a hard lineup to double. Like it's theoretically their starting lineup right now is legitimately 5 out. Every single guy on the floor can shoot. I mean, that didn't happen tonight. And Bullock missed a bunch and Hardaway missed a bunch. But like you take this lineup and you put Dorian in for Hardaway for some minutes, and it's like the defense is going to get a little better, but the offense might not get. Offense might take a step back. Like I don't know. Obviously they need those guys back. I'm kind of getting lost in the.
No, I get it. It's just it's like. And a thing that I'm thinking also is I really need the Mavericks to stop selling me that these two players are coming back. Like I really Kid has been playing this really in a fun way for media consumption. For me personally,
those two guys they've been close for like the last 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks. And I need like, they and Brad Townsend showed a video. They look great in practice. Okay. Like I trust the medical staff. It's just like there's a inherent craziness I'm starting to feel where it's like you watch a struggle like this and it's like, man, what if Josh Green soaked up 15 of these minutes? Oh, what are you going to do? I had a great time all the same. I mean, it's like watching Luka gut that out was fun. Watching him and Westbrook go at each other was a lot of fun. Just a general chippiness in the game. I mean, it was such a horrendous, like just mud fight. I don't.
Yeah.
Every now and again, there's a fun game like that, and I'm glad the Mavericks came out on top of it because, frankly, during my time as a Mavs fan, I've watched way too many fucking Lakers games. Always go the way of the Lakers in just the most horseshit ways imaginable. I sent my boss, who is Silver Screen and Roll, Harrison Fagan's editor-in-chief, this screenshot from years and years ago where I think it might have been 1920 actually, where Seth Curry gets held up.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Literally like the jersey pull. and just a no call leading to and the Lakers make a shot because Dwight Howard is committing just an obvious like flagrant fucking foul. So it's like I've seen so much of that shit. Like beating the Lakers always just it brings a sense of peace to my heart, even though I understand like why you might be more frustrated about the big picture stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I get you.
Well, let's end on that. You're exhausted. Come to Mavs Moneyball. Ben Zadell wrote a hell of a recap. Well, he sort of he messed up the first sentence, and now I have to go fix it. All right.
Jeez, Ben catching strays.
Hey, it happens. It's like 12:30. All right, guys, we will talk with you soon. Thanks so much for hanging out on Mavs Moneyball After Dark, and we will talk with you on Saturday night. All right, bye everyone.